Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyana. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanand Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 14th adhyay of Traya Vibhag Yoga, and Sri Krishna is very compassionately, with all his grace on Arjuna and on all the devotees for that matter. He is explaining the details about the three gunas which kind of influence the lives of all the beings. And after explaining to us the qualities of each and every gunas, how they, sattva, rajas, tamas, the three gunas, they bind us as it is with different objects for that matter. Sattva binds us with all the purity and all the bliss. Rajas binds us with the activity, and tamas binds us with the lethargy, with the sleep, with the good for nothing qualities that we possess for that matter, or that we exhibit. And then Sri Krishna also told us that all these three gunas, they have a competition among themselves. Each guna try to overpower the other two. When the rajas and tamas are overpowered, there is a predominance of sattva in an individual, in a being. When there is preponderance of rajas, that time sattva and tamas, they are lying low in that personality, in that individuality. And when tamas is on the high, when tamas is in ascendance, tamas is dominant, then both sattva and rajas, the so-called good and acceptable qualities, the acceptable gunas for that matter, they are put to, they are just put to rest kind of, when tamas overpowers them. And Sri Krishna very clearly told us that this is how these three gunas, they try to play among themselves. Rajas tamaschabi bhuya sattvam bhavati bharata. When rajas and tamas are abhibhuya, when they are subdued, when they are overpowered, that is the time when sattva ascends in a personality, sattva ascends in that individual person. Sattvam bhavati bharato bharata. That is how the sattva overpowers the rajas and tamas. And rajaha sattvam tamaschaiva. In the same way, when rajas and sattva are subdued, when they are overpowered, the tamas is in the ascendance, and tamaha sattvam rajas tatha. And when the tamas and sattva are overpowered, it is the rajas which comes up. So this is how the sattva, rajas and tamas, they try to overpower the other two, and they exhibit their the importance, they exhibit their traits, they exhibit their qualities. So that was the 10th shloka that we read. And now Sri Krishna is going to tell what happens when one particular guna is in is dominating the other two. So how is the how that person behaves? What are the characteristics that can be seen in a person when the sattva dominates the rajas and tamas, or when rajas dominates sattva and tamas, or when tamas dominates sattva and rajas? So 11th shloka, let us see what how the sattva, it influences our being. It influences when it is in dominance. What happens to all the beings? How it is exhibited in individualities, in the personalities, in those beings. Symptoms of the gunas. Now Sri Krishna is telling when they are in ascendance. Sarvadvāreṣu dehe'sminprakāśa upajāyate jñānaṃ yadā tadā vidyādvivṛddhaṃ sattvamityuta. Sri Krishna says when sattva rises, when sattva is dominant, then sarvadvāreṣu dehe'sminprakāśa upajāyate. All the openings of this city, all the gates, for that matter, gateways of this of the body, the sense organs and the senses. Now these are all our gates actually. This is how we perceive, we communicate, we interact with the outside world. We interact with the outside world only because of the senses that we have. And these senses, these are the openings. These are the openings. These are the gateways for our coming in contact with the external Prakriti. So Sri Krishna says, sarvadvāreṣu dehe'sminprakāśa upajāyate. Dehe'smin is in this body, all the gateways in this body, when prakāśa upajāyate, when start when the light of wisdom starts shining through all these gateways. What happens? It is all illuminous kind of attitude that comes through all the gates, whether it is what we see, what we hear, what we speak, what we touch. Everything is filled with that divine illumination. All the gates of the body, they start emitting that great brilliance, that great illumination. Dehe'smin sarvadvāreṣu prakāśa upajāyate jñānaṃ yadā tadā vidyādvivṛddhaṃ sattvamityuta. Then what happens is the knowledge shines. Knowledge, because sattva has attachment to knowledge. That Sri Krishna has already told us. So when sattva is predominant, automatically that enlightenment and the radiance of the knowledge, jñānaṃ yadā tadā vidyādvivṛddhaṃ, that may be known, that when that knowledge starts shining from all the gateways of this body, when entire the enlightenment starts exhibiting from all the gateways of this body, know for sure, vidyādvivṛddhaṃ sattvam iti ut. That is the time when indeed ut is indeed. That is the time when indeed the sattva is dominant, is predominant. So that individual, when sattva is predominant, exhibits all the signs of purity, the nirmalatvam that Sri Krishna has associated the sattva guna with, prakāśam, that enlightenment, that illumination, that luminosity, as if a person creates some kind of a aura behind her, behind him, and that aura, that enlightenment is actually perceived by people around, actually perceived by all the beings around. And then we say, what a holy person, what a saintly person, what a wonderful personality. Because that person with the sattva predominant, with the sattvamyuta, with the sattva predominant, it expresses nothing but joy and knowledge and that enlightenment. Nobody can hide from that luminous aura that the person starts, exhibiting. So that is how the sattva, when dominant in a person, is. That is how that person, that is how that being starts exhibiting that sattva through all the things that he or she does. All the knowledge that is automatically, it gets exhibited. That knowledge, that joy, that bliss, and people feel kind of a peace and calmness and bliss just looking at such a person. If a lamp is placed within a box fitted with glasses of various hues, its light shines through all the glasses. The intensity of the light adds to the brilliance pouring out. If we put some kind of a glass, enclosure on a lamp, what happens? Whichever is the color of that enclosure, of that glass enclosure, if it is a red glass, then it will start exhibiting the red glow. If it is a blue glass, then it will start exhibiting blue glow. So whichever color of that glass, that color starts getting shining through that glass cabinet, or say that glass enclosure. The intensity of the light adds to the brilliance pouring out. Now man's body is very much like that box. Our body, basically, it is just like a transparent box. Whatever is there inside, whichever is the shade of that glass, whichever is the color hue of that glass, whatever is there inside, it will start shining in that intensity, in that color. The sense organs are the gateways for the light of the self within to beam into view. Now, this is what the lamp in that glass enclosure. Here, this is the glass enclosure, the body that we are having. The sense organs, which are the gateways of our, these are the of our body, the gateways of our body through which we perceive the outer world. Outer world perceives us through our senses. This is how a person behaves, and then the outer world comes to know what kind of person is he. What kind of color is being radiated, is being shown from that glass. The glass is our body. While in sattva, the effulgence of the self is at its highest. When sattva is predominant, the self inside, it becomes so very clear for others to perceive. That purity, that sincerity, that blissful nature of the person, it becomes evident to others who come in contact with that person. And this is evinced by the functioning of the senses. In the act of seeing, there is sharpness. In hearing, there is alertness. In performing an action, there is precision accompanied by deliberation and accuracy. Whatever we do, that positivity, it just cannot remain hidden when the sattva is predominant. Anything that we do, automatically that positive, that blissful, illumination, that blissful enlightenment, that blissful glow, it starts moving around, it starts spreading around, it starts shining through. All the senses function pleasantly at their best, and these are the marks of the predominance of sattva. So this is what Sri Krishna tells us in this shloka, that when sattva is predominant, we can see all the nice things, positive things, the blissful things, emitting knowledge, emitting joy, emitting peace, emitting calmness in that person. That person is not at all disturbed. And people who are disturbed looking at that person with the predominant sattva, their disturbed nature also tries to calm down. It is infective. That blissful nature, that blessed feeling, It is so very infectious that those who come around in that circle, they also get affected by that positive illumination, that positive enlightenment which is spread from the person with predominant sattva. That was the 11th shlok of this Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, highlighting the preponderance, with the predominance of sattva, how a person behaves. And nobody has to tell that the sattva, that in this person sattva is predominant. People automatically, they come to know, they automatically realize, because all the sense organs of that person with predominant sattva, they exhibit purity, they exhibit enlightenment, they exhibit bliss and joy. So that was the 11th shloka of the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.